Peace and love, family. It's been a minute since I made a YouTube video, and I have not made one since the murder of George Floyd. As I was sharing on a prayer call on Sunday, I was just bereft last week. Didn't know how to process my anger, my hurt, and so I just dropped into deep sadness, and many tears flowed. After the prayer call Sunday, and with the help of the ancestors, I began to make some slow shifts. And then last night, I made a significant shift. And this morning, I made the conscious decision that I was going to find a thought that made me feel good and focus on that to move through this season. There are many. As I put on my Queen Behavior t-shirt, because I have not been on my Queen Behavior, as I walk to the Girl Trek #Daughters of playlist for the 21-day walking meditation with the ancestors, as I look at the Nextdoor neighborhood app and see and read the many comments of my white neighbors who are aligning themselves with the protest movements, as I receive daily phone calls and texts from friends and clients who happen to be white checking on me, my thought today is of deep gratitude for the little willingness that I had to shift. I'm having to take a lot of responsibility for my anger and ways of behaving in my community. I've had a practice for 27 years in body work. And for the first 7 years, I would not work from my home because I did not want white people coming into my home. My home was a sacred place for my family. And although it felt like it'd be less expensive to work at home, and I have a beautiful, comfortable home, I just didn't want them to cross the threshold into my sacred space. And then I shifted. And I opened up my practice in my home. And it's been okay. I also had to deal with my deep-seated anger at my ancestry, at my family, for the miscegenation, race mixing that's evident in my family, and my questioning and resentment of the number of black men in my family who chose to marry white women, and vice versa. And so I've had to look at myself and how I have judged and continue to judge. So I'm working on releasing all of that, and forgiveness for me is a good thought. I am a race-first woman, as I think most people do know that about me. And I also am Pan-Africanist in my thinking and politics. And so a good thought that I had today when I woke up and heard of the transition of Dr. Conrad Worrill, the founder of the National Black United Front, who passed of COVID-19 today, June 3rd, or maybe it was yesterday he passed, was that 41 years later, NBUF is still in existence, pushing for our people and philosophy of Pan-Africanism. So there will be more marches and more protests, and I'm sure there will be some more looting and destruction of property as well. And today, on Wednesday, June 3rd, I seek comfort in the outreach of friends and neighbors whose skin color may be different than mine, but who obviously do care how I am doing and are aware that these are challenging times. So find a thought and hold on to it to shift your vibration, to help you feel better, and in doing so, help someone else feel better. This is the work of another generation. We elders can still help, but I don't know if we'll see the significant change in our lifetime. But I must believe, that a change is going to come. Peace and love to all. And long live the memory of George Floyd. Find a good thought in spite of what's going on.